Assalamu alaikum. If you want to watch new videos on our channel, then subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Moreover, for appreciation, like our video and share it with your friends. You can also comment below giving your suggestions. Now let's start today's video. The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway, 1899 to 1961. The characters: Santiago, the old fisherman by trade, who performed his life's greatest adventure of fishing in the Gulf Stream near Cuba. Manolin, the boy who remained attached to Santiago for 40 days for fishing purposes. However, he continued to meet and serve him with love and devotion afterwards. The marlin, the large fish that was hooked by Santiago and was killed by him with a harpoon or spear. After a struggle of several days, he fastened it to his boat. The sharks, large fish with sharp teeth, which attacked and ate up the flesh of the marlin, fastened to Santiago's boat on his return voyage. He killed several of them, but they finally ate up all the marlin's meat and outwardly defeated Santiago's purposes. And nature, including the sea, the winds, and the birds, that are the silent characters. The title of the novel. The novel is about the great physical and spiritual struggle and adventure of an old fisherman, Santiago, who supposedly had some Spanish origins, as his Spanish name signified. He fished in the Gulf Stream near Cuba. The novel sets forth the fishing life of the sailor at sea and his stay on the land and his relationship with the boy Manolin, with the owner of the restaurant, the terrace, and with other fishermen. It is more concerned with the thoughts or philosophy, the inner life, the character of Santiago in relation to his physical struggle on the sea and his true attachments as distinct from his outward failures. The title means, in essence, the victory of the old man over age, nature, and fate in death. Summary and critical analysis. A. Introduction to the old man, the boy, and their interests. Santiago, an old fisherman, used to fish in a small boat in the Gulf Stream near Cuba. For 84 days, he had not caught any fish. For the first 40 days of these, Manolin, a boy, had been with him. The boy's parents called the old man very unlucky fellow for not catching any fish, and made the boy join another fisherman. However, the boy continued to serve him. He entertained him to beer in the town restaurant called the Terrace. He offered to bring him sardines and other bait food put on hooks to catch fish. For his fishing the next day, he could not catch any fish, though he also tried the wells. The wells were hundreds of meters deep, and all sorts of fish gathered there in large number. However, the old man always remained hopeful of catching fish. The old man lived in a shack that had a bed, a table, a chair. On the walls were pictures of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Virgin of Cobra, left by his wife. The old man and the boy talked about food and fishing and the lucky number 85, as the next day the old man was going on his fishing expedition. Hopefully, after 84 days of unlucky or unsuccessful fishing, they talked about baseball. The old man told him about DiMaggio, who was a great baseball champion, and McGraw, who was a baseball manager. Then he told about lions on the beaches, seashores of Africa. The boy liked the old man greatly. He said to him, "There are many good fishermen and some great ones, but there is only one you." The old man was hopeful of some great fishing performance and claimed that he knew many tricks and had resolution. During his sleep, the old man dreamed of Africa when he was a boy, of its golden and white seashores. Before dawn the next day, the boy helped the old man take his fishing gear, sardines, and baits in his boat as he started on his fishing expedition. B. Significance of the first portion of the novel. The boy Manolin and the lions function as symbols of Santiago's youth and strength. Pathos. Feelings of sorrow can be felt in Santiago's situation in which he had not been able to catch a fish for 84 days. Manolin's parents told him that the old man was slow, the worst form of unlucky. The sail of his boat looked to others like the flag of permanent defeat. How the old man killed the marlin. The old man rowed out far into the ocean on the 85th day. He put his baits, hooks covered with fresh sardines, into the depth of the sea. He saw a man of war bird circling in the sky that tried to catch the flying fish. He also saw huge groups of dolphins, large fish. He caught an albacore tuna, a large fish. He saw one of his fishing lines cords or strings shaking as a marlin was eating the sardines, covering a hook about 600 feet below his boat. In fact, the marlin, after being hooked, started towing the boat. He wished he had the boy with him. He felt as if he was the towing bit. The marlin could decide to go down, which could cause real trouble. The old man wanted the point of the hook to go into the heart of the marlin to kill it. But the marlin continued to tow the boat as the old man had the line across his back, rubbing and scratching it. Thoughts of the old man as the marlin moved along. Firstly, the old man wished repeatedly the boy were there. The boy could help him and massage his left hand. Secondly, he thought of the baseball results in the grand club tournaments. He thought of completing the adventure that could satisfy the great DiMaggio. Thirdly, he wished he had a radio. Fourthly, he remembered how once he had tried to catch a female marlin earlier when two porpoises, male and female, had come close to his boat. The male marlin then had jumped high into the air to see the hooked female marlin. Fifthly, he thought of saying prayers in his way, 10 Our Fathers and 10 Hail Marys if he succeeded. He thought of killing the marlin in all its greatness and glory to show what a man could do and how a man could remain firm. In the sixth place, he wished that the marlin would sleep and he would sleep to dream of these lines. Why are the lines the main thing that is left? He asked. He actually slept for some time in his tiredness and dreamed of porpoises scratching for 8 or 10 miles, dreamed of his village and bed, and then of the long beach and the lions coming to it. In the seventh place, he remembered how he had defeated the huge Negro at hand wrestling at Casablanca. He looked at his right hand with pride and condemned his left one that he could never trust. Feeling and experiences of the old man as the marlin moved along. Firstly, the man felt that he had gone too far into the sea beyond all people to catch a huge fish. The hooked marlin could have stayed in the dark, deep water beyond man's snares and traps and cunning. Now, the two of them were joined together. He was a born fisherman, he said aloud. Fish, I will stay with you until I am dead. But he also said, Fish, I love you and respect you very much, but I will kill you. Secondly, a small bird, a warbler, came towards the boat from the north and sat on the line. How old are you, the man? Asked the bird. Is this your first trip? The bird looked at him when he spoke. He was too tired even to examine the line. Take a good rest, small bird, he said. Then go in and take your chance, like any man or bird or fish. Just then a fish pulled the line, and some of the old man's flesh was cut. and he dipped his hand in the salt water. He ate the raw, uncooked tuna, large fish without salt. His left hand was cramped, with its muscles pulled. He prayed to God for its recovery. Thirdly, the old man felt at first that he was alone. However, when he saw a flight of wild ducks against the sky over the water, he felt that no man was ever alone on the sea. Fourthly, the old man saw the marlin coming up from the water bright in the sky. Its short, projecting nose was as long as a baseball bat. Its tail was like a scythe blade. Being huge and powerful, it did not know how destructive it could be for him. The old man felt that fishes and animals are not as intelligent as we who kill them, and they are nobler and more able. He felt that his determination and intelligence would defeat the marlin's bigness and strength. Fifthly, late in the evening, the old man caught a dolphin, a sea animal that he could eat later. He had eaten a whole tuna. He felt how hungry would be the marlin. He called the marlin his friend, his true brother, so great that men were not worthy of eating it. Sixthly, the old man felt like sleeping, but he could not sleep for the fear that the marlin might break the line that he was holding. But he feared that he might feel confused in his head without sleeping, as the stars, the moon, the sun, his brothers all slept, and the sea also slept sometimes. Seventhly, as the marlin jumped and fell heavily, his hands felt badly cut by the lines or coils. He wished the boy were with him to wet the coils. He wished the marlin circled the boat instead of jumping so that he could fight with him. He found it strong, calm, and confident. He himself had to be fearless and confident to face it. Eighthly, on the third day, the marlin started circling around the boat. The marlin was coming up and he was pulling in the line. He was dead tired. He promised that on succeeding he would say 100 Our Fathers and 100 Hail Marys. That is a prayer. Lastly, the fish came to the surface, but as he was struggling to bring it closer, it was moving away. He decided to kill it, but also did not care who killed whom. The marlin was his brother, greater, more beautiful, calmer, and nobler than any creature he had seen until then. He threw his harpoon at it, which maddened it and made it jump out of the water in all its length and width and power and beauty. Finally, it was dead as it reddened the sea with its blood. With great difficulty, the old man fastened the marlin to his boat and started on his return voyage. He felt how proud the great Dimagio would feel on his killing the huge fish. He felt that only his trickery had helped him to do it, otherwise he was no better than it, the marlin.